Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. P. Welcome back to the channel for another video. Now, in this one, I want to start trying to break down the whole Midas lore situation. As we know, Outlaw Midas the NPC is at Utopia City, and he is certainly plotting something. If you want to get in on these lore conversations, drop a comment down below or join the Discord. The link is in the description. So, Midas has been one of the more key characters in all of Fortnite's storyline. He first appeared in Chapter 2, Season 2, and of course, that season concluded with Midas building a giant device to try and break the storm and probably also the loop. Midas has kind of got this good guy, bad guy thing going on right now, where sometimes he'll try to be really chaotic, and other times he'll display some qualities of a hero, even if it's to his own benefit. Midas has a lot of interesting voice lines this season, but the one I want to talk about right now is where he says, "It seems my new allies don't entirely trust me." Good. They shouldn't. That's for this season, but if you go back to last season, he said, "I won't deny that I have my own private intentions." That is, of course, with the Zero Shard, but right now, I think we're aligned in purpose. Granted, he said that when a bigger issue was defeating the Baron. Bearing in mind the fact that Midas has private intentions with this Zero Shard, and also given the fact that he is in Utopia City, and Utopia City is showing us the 0-point vault through that portal, there's virtually zero doubt in my mind that Midas is planning to get this for himself and eventually shut out Hope and Jones when he can, but for now, he's got to work with them. But that begs the question, if Midas does actually get full possession of the Zero Shard, what is he going to do with it? Like, what is his plan? For the rest of this video, I'm going to give you guys my takes on what I think might happen. If I forgot anything or you have anything to add, be sure to do that in the comments. My first theory is that Midas is going to build the Device 2.0. As we talked about earlier, the finale of Chapter 2 Season 2 included the Device event. It was a valiant effort to push back and break the storm, but ultimately the attempt failed. Now, I'd like to think that Midas, being a proud, really smart mastermind that he is, was very upset by that failure, and he's probably very eager to redeem himself. I'm pretty sure the power source for the device back in Chapter 2, Season 2 is not confirmed. A lot of people speculate that it might be the 0-point because the 0-point was right below the agency at that time, but I've looked around, I don't think that's confirmed at all. So hypothetically speaking, this shard might give him a completely new source of power. He also did a ton of research on the device, on the loop, on the storm, on the loopers, everything before that device event went down, so he's clearly very educated about the ins and outs of everything going on. Who knows, maybe acquiring the shard will be just what he needs to power up his new device and to make another attempt at breaking the storm. But then that begs the question, what is he going to do if he succeeds? I would imagine it's something very selfish. He probably has a very me way of thinking, so instead of maybe breaking the loop and breaking the storm, he might try to just reshape everything in his image or exactly the way that he wants. Huntmaster Sands in my Discord had a really great theory to add on to what I just said, saying the implication is that Midas wants all the power for himself. If he could free everyone from the loop in the storm, they would rally against Jano, allowing Midas to reign. That was probably his original goal during the device event, and if what I've been talking about is true, that's probably his goal for whatever is coming up next, whether it's another device or not. My next theory is that Midas is looking for the Zero Shard to create a Zero Shard / 0-point mask. Yep. That's right, a mask. Masks have actually been a huge part of this season's storyline with Daigo the Mask Maker. Midas has seen firsthand this chapter how powerful these masks are. Maybe Midas wants the 0-point shard so he can then fashion a mask out of it similar to what Daigo has, which might be able to just give some crazy powers. Midas talks over and over again about how strong Daigo is and how important it is to take him out. Maybe that's so he could be the only one with the masks. This is a really interesting quote from Outlaw Midas this season, which says, "Welcome to Utopia City. I may have aided in funding its construction." So did Midas have any plans or say on that specific shrine there that looks like the vault with the portal? Is Midas responsible for putting that there? These audio lines get really interesting from Midas. Look at this one talking about the shard. "I'm not going to lie to you. I'm intrigued by the 0-point shard. A source of power like that carries serious potential, but I'll tell you what I told Jones and Hope. There's no point arguing about its eventual fate. before we get our hands on it. That's from this season and shows that there's already a little bit of a rift forming between Midas and then Jones and Hope as far as what happens with the Zero Shard when they find it. Hope says we've been selectively redacting some details on a need-to-know basis. Some people with shadowy histories might be drawn to misusing our findings. Jones says these spires are something new even to me, and trust me, I've seen a lot. Whatever this is, I'm betting it's child's play compared to the full power of the shard. I'm following Hope's lead on trusting certain shadowy allies for now. This is legitimately like a Squid Games or a Hunger Games alliance where you're doing it just for now, but you already know there's going to be a breaking point where they start fighting each other. Both sides are aware that the other side can't necessarily be trusted, but they kinda have to band together to defeat the Mask Maker. My next theory is that Midas wants to use the Zero Shard to recreate the 0 point and then lock it up in a vault, much like the one that's seen in the portal, so that only he can control it. Let's think about it for a second. The Utopia City portal is showing the vault. That's where Singularity looked over the 0 point for a really long time, keeping it safe and keeping it secure. Locking away the 0 point for only his use definitely sounds like something Midas would do. And maybe he gets his boy Montag to be the new Singularity or the new guardian of the vault. As the leader of the society, he's definitely a bit of a higher ranking person, and Midas clearly trusts him. There's got to be a very specific reason that the Utopia City portal is showing the vault. Now, whether that's actually a picture from Chapter 1, Season 8, that is still kind of up in the air, but I know what I'm looking at when I see it. It's the vault. And if Midas funded the construction and possibly even laid out everything for the construction people, that vault cannot be a coincidence. Midas has got a perfect setup. He's chilling in Utopia City watching that portal. He's already planning on backstabbing Hope and Jones. It's a really good time to be a fan of the Fortnite lore. We're about 2.5-ish weeks away from OG's rocket launch with the new visitor, and we're also less than 1 month away from Chapter 6, Season 4. So there's a lot of stuff that has to happen pretty quickly over the course of the next 3-4 weeks. Epic Games is getting back from their summer break very soon, and the next major content update is on July 15th. I imagine a ton of story stuff will happen there. The Visitor is probably breaking out of the Meteor in OG. There are probably going to be some more developments on Chapter 6 Season 3 side of things. The first 2 updates of this season have been filled to the brim with lore, so I have to imagine that's going to continue. If you made it to the end of the video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and comment the word coconut below.